Clovia, all the way live from Stone Soul 2015. We're at the Classic Gaming Theater over at RIR. Everybody who is anybody is performing live, and she is my girl, Faith Evans. What's up, Faith? Hey. Girl, and you gets no love. That is right. Girl, you just left the stage, and you were excellent. What I want to know, as a mother and doing a lot of stuff in the community, how do you do it? You're a producer, you're an author, you're writing songs. How do you do it with 4 children?
Well, one day at a time. I mean, I've always got a lot going on, but I don't really, unfortunately, I'm still not on like schedule. The only thing that's scheduled is like the kids' school and whatever stuff they have to do. But in terms of regularly scheduled, my stuff is just like, you know what, I need to do this now because this is hard for me to check real quick. I need to work on this book. I think I should start working on my next album. I mean, I'm always trying to keep a bunch of pots on the stove, you know, whichever one starts boiling, you gotta stir it up. I believe in these days trying to create multiple revenue streams. Thankfully, music is something I still love and am very passionate about the creative process. But I mean, truth be told, it's not really my main source of income because I don't tour. You know, if I was touring on the road, I mean, I think there's recently Billboard put out this little breakdown, and touring is really the main source of income for a recording artist. So, I have 4 kids. I don't like to be gone from home for too long, so I don't really.
And have a nanny or governess if you will.
I can't afford that. Actually. And I wouldn't really want that. You know, my kids are funny. Like they be like, "Mom, who is this?" Like, what really? I don't like strangers in my house like that anyway. But I just try and keep something going on so that I'll have something to do next. You know. Yeah. And I always have a lot of ideas, so I finally decided a few years ago to stop just having ideas and trying to actually make them happen.
So when did you first identify? Because I absolutely love your voice. I just love the depth of it. It's deep. And again, going back to my favorite song, "You Guess No Love." That's like, Chloe, you can relate to that. But just the singing, when did you discover that you were a singer?
Very early on. I think I sang the first time in front of the church when I was 2. And I sang a song from the Flintstones that was like my favorite cartoon at the time, "Let the Sunshine In."
Oh,
and I guess I used to sing it around the house because somebody put me up in front of the church to sing it, and I remember running straight out the door when I was done. I was like petrified. I mean, I was always really shy, but I mean, everybody stood up clapping, and it was like it scared me kind of. But then again, I liked it. So I ran straight out the door, and they put me in the church choir shortly after that, and that was pretty much where my singing experience began, as far as the backgrounds and me stacking was being in the choir for so many years before I actually became a recording artist.
So how has the music industry changed from yesterday when you signed your first contract with Puffy to today?
Well, one change is that the contracts aren't the same. You know, money there, it's not the same. I'm glad that I happened to get a little bit of that out of that in the 90s. You know, the budgets that are probably still I'm being charged for, but at least, you know, I got something out of it. Yeah. It's you know what, there are a lot less record stores. There are hardly any record stores. Digital obviously has taken over a lot, so that affected, you know, the sales demographic for artists. But so much has changed, but I believe it's just all about trying to figure out how to stay afloat, you know, figure out what you have and how to make that work for you. I know that I have a decent fan base, however many they are. I know that there is a group of people out there that's going to support my music when it comes out, and I'm cool with that. Of course, you always want to sell more records or gain more fans, but I trust that, you know, God allows that to happen. I don't think that there's like any one little thing, you know, you can do to change the scope of everything. I just gotta kind of keep it moving and keep making great music, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing because rarely do we, for aspiring artists, talk about the several streams of income. It's like I made it, I'm on the charts, I have a Grammy, and I'm done. And the money is rolling. You said, stop.
Well, money comes, money goes. I mean, I definitely have been rich. I mean, I have a lot of worth. I know I'm worth a whole lot. But I mean, you know, I have a whole lot of places where my money has to go, aside from children and legal fees and taxes and, you know, helping, you know, family and just I run a business, you know, so It's not like that. It's definitely not like that. And you gotta have it. My last attorney was somebody who really embedded that in my head. Like, you know, we gotta. Okay, you told me one day you don't want to do. I know somebody I can do. So it's just kind of started to where I was taking meetings for all these different ideas I had, and then slowly but surely they started to actually come to fruition, like the TV stuff and becoming a television producer. Now I have a few other shows in development and. You know, hopefully working on the Florence Valley biopic, which I was going to do a few years ago, but the producers kind of ended up being bogus, so now I'm trying to get financing to do it myself. So I mean, you know, there's a lot of things, you know, to be done, and I know I haven't reached my peak yet, but I definitely will always have a passion for creating music, because I mean I'm gifted at that, you know, and I think that people are always going to enjoy music. Whether it's my music or somebody else's music, people are always going to enjoy music. So I would be really stupid if I just said, hey, I'm going to make music. You know, there comes times when I have to dedicate my time to something else, but I will certainly always make music.
And what makes it that much better is you made hits.
I'm telling you, that helps. That helps.
It's like, okay.
It's not like I knew that then. I mean, you don't know that they're hit until they actually become hits. I didn't know that until they became them, though.
Right.
I mean, my thing is just, I just try to make music that I
mean,
love.
our listeners, you know, at Stone Soul, they were singing loud.
They really were. That's a blessing, though. That's certainly a blessing. That helps to have, you know, songs that people know and sing, you know.
That's good stuff. Well, Faith Evans, one of our Stone Soul artists, we're at the Classic Amphitheater over at RIR. You still have time to walk up and purchase your tickets. I am Community Clovia for Kiss FM.